Welcome to Synthetic Oil Protection. This is show number 39.
39.
And I'm your host, Eben.
I'm Jeff. How you doing tonight?
And Jeff here is the master mechanic on the channel. He's got how many years of experience, Jeff?
21 years in the field.
All right. He was in the military.
Yeah.
Tell him what else.
So I was the neighborhood bicycle mechanic. Now this is where it really starts way back.
Now today, hold on, before we get there, we got to talk about our topic.
Yeah.
Today's topic is
how not to get screwed by a mechanic.
Yes.
And
we're also talking about how mechanics charge.
Yeah.
So a lot of people want to know, how do they charge?
Yeah, what's it
Do they
based on?
charge by the hour? Do they charge by the job? Do they
we
just come up with numbers?
Do we look at you and say you look like about a $3,000 ticket?
Yeah, do they just want to take advantage of it? And we're going to discuss all these subtleties today with you, and we have someone with all the experience to go over it. For me, I'm just the lube guy. All I do is play with bottles, twisting, spinning, and lubricating things.
Cheers.
And Jeff, yes, cheers to protection. And that's what we do on the channel. So Jeff, let's start out with how old were you when you first found out how mechanics charge? How do they charge?
So, I didn't find out for a while until I started working in the field. I had one experience prior. I was in New York, and my wife was driving from here to California and broke down outside of Baker.
Wow.
Now, if you want to feel like you're over the barrel, that's the spot.
Oh my God.
Because you're 100 miles from nowhere. Literally, Baker's 100 miles from nowhere.
And we got a lot of good subscribers from Baker in California. Thanks everyone,
Awesome.
all the preferred customers for trying AMSOIL products. Thanks, we appreciate you.
So there was a garage back there, and we're talking years ago. Guarantee it's not still there. There's no way they're still doing business. But my wife had broken down there, and they had to get an alternator, so they had to bring it in from Barstow. Understandable. It's an alternator, and they're fairly small town. Stock should be small. They bring one in. They say it's defective. So they bring another one in. That one's defective. So they say, okay, we'll bring another one the next day. Rule of thumb, I would believe you can have one bad out of the box if you're doing a job once in a while, maybe frequently for whatever, but second part, same car, not the part. Like the likelihood of it being the part again is, if I had 1 in 100, now it's 1 in 100 on 1 in 100. It just doesn't seem reasonable to me. So basically what had happened was the following day they put another alternator in, still didn't fix the problem. So some jackhole ran a wire from the charging lead of the lug on the back of the alternator to the positive post on the battery, because they couldn't diagnose a bad fusible link. Literally, they couldn't see a bad fuse. Now, I'm not going to say they did wrong by diagnosing the alternator, because something had to have blown that fuse. So valid, the car needed an alternator. But they sent my wife and my kid and my mother-in-law further into California with this wire laying across the engine compartment. I still wasn't due to be back in town for another 2 months to fix it.
Wow.
So, and it was a big bill back in the day. That was back in like 2004, 2003. It was a $400 bill to do an alternator in my car.
Wow. So how do they usually charge, and how did they charge you on that? And you're saying diagnosing has to do with the charge.
Yeah, so you've got two different ways you do it. You can either you can have package jobs. Some places have package jobs where if your service writers don't really get to figure out stuff, bigger companies, they'll say, like, let's say you're going to, I don't know, Pet Boy's a good example. Pet Boys will pull the job up, they'll pull the car up, and they'll say front brake pads and rotors, Ford Taurus. It'll auto-populate everything. It'll put the labor time, it'll put the parts, the shop fees, everything.
So how do they charge? They just go by the book.
They have a guide that just does it for them.
Now how are they compared to a dealership?
Dealerships, similar system, but the labor time. So the biggest difference between the dealer and the independent shop is the labor hours charged. So if it's a 1 hour job and the dealer's labor rate is $200, you're paying $200, you come to me and it's half that. Now the difference in quality and technician, there isn't.
All right.
I could have gone to work at a dealership. I could have focused on one vehicle. We know that I like working on everything.
So you're saying a lot of independent shops are going to be about half the price.
Yeah,
Somewhere in there,
somewhere,
depending on what it is.
they're going to be, depending, it's anywhere going to be 25% to 50% lower, just because the dealership has much higher labor and they charge more for parts, and that's, that's a thing.
So how do they charge? Do they charge by hour? Do they charge by parts at a dealership? Explain to them exactly how they charge.
So basically,
At a dealership.
the service
Or a
writer will look
stealership.
up,
A stealership.
Yeah, a dealership.
So they don't get screwed.
So you brought in your car. All right, let's little role play here.
All right.
So,
Let's just say it's a Corvette.
All right, so you brought a Corvette. I'm Jeff at Blah Blah Chevrolet.
All right.
How you doing today?
Good.
All right. So what are we here for, sir?
We're here for a radiator.
We're here for a
The damn
radiator.
thing's pissing, cooling all over the place.
Holy mother of
I've been adding radiator. This thing's as thirsty as a dinosaur.
Have you been only using the deck school?
Oh yeah, I love deck school.
All right. Whew. You had me worried this wasn't going to be covered by anything.
Oh, I would never do that to my Corvette.
Never. All right. So wouldn't use any of that other stuff, would you?
Never.
No. All right. So we have our radiator. Radiator for your vehicle runs $579. Okay.
That's just the parts.
That's just the parts. Well, we've got to flush the cooling system. Flushing the cooling system is about $175. Okay. When the car runs low on coolant, that could damage the thermostat. Probably, thermostat on this vehicle, parts and labor is about $250. And then, of course, we have to do the radiator. Labor time for the radiator is an additional $475. So
How many hours is that?
the radiator on that takes about 3 hours.
Wow.
So we got $475.5. We've got $1. We've got $250. So we're looking somewhere in the ballpark. It's about $12.50 to $13.50 with taxes.
Oh my God.
So we can get that done for you. I can have that done for you by the end of the day, so. I mean, we can get you back. We can get the wind in your hair.
Do you mind if I think about this?
I got a spot open right now. If we don't do this today, it's going to be sitting in the lot for another 5-6 days.
$1,200.
I mean, it's today.
Oh. All right, so that's that situation. Now let's go to your shop.
Let's go to my shop.
How are you gonna do it per hour and all that?
So same thing, and I'm going to do this with you. We're going to look up, and I'm going to give you the price on the part. Honestly, they're $550. I'm going to get the same quality part. I don't go for the low cheap stuff. So if you're looking for a cheap price, this isn't the spot. And we're in my shop. We're sitting here. This is my front office.
And in a second, don't go away. Definitely subscribe.
Yeah.
Tap the notification bell. You can come back and watch us every Thursday night. Eben and Jeff, and this is what we do. Plus guests. We're going to have a guest later, so stick around. We're going to have a cool guest that he's known all around the world, and he's been on TV in 47 different countries or something.
Is he in the Guinness Book of World Records?
I think he has multiple Guinness World Records.
Oh my goodness!
So
I think I know
stick
who it
around.
is.
He's coming up next.
I'm excited.
So definitely hang in there.
All right.
So Jeff, tell us. So you're going to be about 25 to 50% less.
Yeah.
So when someone goes to one of these places, how do they make sure they don't get screwed? And is bringing your parts, is that a part of not getting screwed? By bringing your own parts?
So here's the thing, and I stopped installing customer parts because I've gotten screwed by that. And so we have issues. If you go to a mechanic shop and you've ever had a delay on your repair and they say, well, they sent me the wrong part, we're dealing with the commercial department, the professional department of that parts store. Now every parts store, Pep Boys, AutoZone, O'Reilly, any of your big names, they all have a DIY, do-it-yourself department and a commercial department. The commercial department is where they put the people who know parts. I still get wrong parts. At least one job a day, they send me one wrong part. You guys, if you are not working at a shop, you get to deal with the people who haven't made it to that level yet. So the probability of you getting an incorrect part is going to be first based on a few things. You have to know your car, give them year, make, model, engine. If it's a mid-year model, I had a problem with that a long time ago. We'll talk about that another time.
Mid-year change-ups.
Yeah, mid-year. Ford's notorious for it. Nissan's done it a few times. It's difficult for us.
They did it on my '59 Cadillac on the brake master cylinder.
Yeah. And it's like, how are you guys supposed to know that? I struggle to remember all this shit, and I've got it burned into my brain. So when you bring your parts and you bring us the wrong parts, I have 2 lifts even. Each lift has to have a car on it that we're working on currently because that's how we keep the lights on. If I get a wrong part and it's my fault, I can actually file a labor claim against the parts store so the customer does not have to pay for a reinstallation, and I don't have to pay out of pocket to my technician to do a job a second time because it was something outside of all of our control.
Exactly.
If you buy the part store is not going to pay you labor. You have to pay my labor, and if I get the job done and your part is bad, unfortunately, if you want it done again, I got to charge you again because I'm not covered. I have to be able to pay my technicians. So speaking of paying technicians, something that you might have heard, flat rate, flag time, piecework, we got all sorts of names for it, but what it works down to be. And everybody thinks mechanics make a ton of money. Most mechanics will make anywhere between $20 to $40 an hour. That being said, they're not making $1 while they're standing there staring at cars. They are only getting paid what the book, you mentioned the book, it's not a book anymore, it's online, but there's a labor guide where they took every single job you could do on a car, from changing a tire to changing a brake light bulb, and put how long it will take a technician to do it.
Now, can they look that up themselves? Can we put that in the description section for consumers?
You would have
like them.
You'd have to Google it. Honestly, the program that I pay for is almost $300 a month to have the labor guide and repair manuals and all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
But I am sure that you can find online. There's 2 labor guides, Mitchell and Chilton.
Mitchell and Chilton.
Mitchell and Chilton.
All right.
And they will have labor guides. You might have to search long and hard. Just understand that the labor guides will be different. I use a motor guide, a Chilton guide, and
so for everyone out there, we want to ask the question, is it worth it in the long run to bring your own parts to try to save money in the long run?
Nope, not at all would be.
And that's at the average mechanic shop.
And a lot of shops won't install customer provided parts anymore.
So Jeff's saying a lot of mechanic shops won't even install your parts. And what usually happens, why won't they?
Because sure as the sun comes up, it will be the wrong part. I'll get the car back together, and no matter how much you promise me that you're not going to be upset, you can't hold that. When your car, you assume that what you gave me is going to fix it, and it's the wrong part, or it doesn't fix the problem, or whatever, I'm the one holding the bag. You're pissed at me. So I don't need that. I don't need that animosity. If you want to save money, cool. If you want to do it yourself, pull up a YouTube video. We've got all sorts. But be kind to your technicians. You know, be kind to your technicians.
So who can they go look at if they want to do it themselves?
Well, shoot, there's a couple of channels we can look here. Yeah, we've got us, synthetic oil protection. I've got some. I'll have to find you the link for my stuff. I actually have some tutorials myself of doing brakes, doing a fuel pump, and some wire repair that I filmed in the shop a couple of years back.
Who else?
Scotty Kilmer.
Scotty Kilmer.
Scotty Kilmer's a good one. Oh my goodness. I don't know anybody specifically, but you can always call me. All right. If you got to call me for a reference, call me for a reference.
What's your name?
My name's Jeff.
And what's your phone number?
702-433-5823. That is the shop number. And the bat line, 702-907-9227. The bat line is for text only. If you call it, it just rolls over to the shop. You got a phone number though, right?
Yep. So I'm the Lube guy.
All
I'm
right.
Eben your professional
Yes.
Luber.
All right.
What I do
10,000
is-
strong.
Yes.
I saw that.
10K subs. We
Awesome.
got there.
Thank you, guys.
So yes, thank you so much, and means the world for all the shares. We've had people sharing stuff every week, and for months. And without them, we wouldn't have gotten here. So I have to pay tribute to everyone that's really helped out. It means the world. I know we got tons of subscribers. Florida, Texas, and California are our big subs. But yeah, if you ever want to reach out to me, all I do is play with the lube, the liquid gold. I pour it in, stick it in, and well, you could say we keep things the wetter the better. When you keep your rubbers nice and wet, it slips in like butter. Always keep your rubbers wet, right?
Yeah.
Jeff?
Safety first.
Yeah, safety, safety, safety. So my cell phone number, if you ever want to ask me any questions, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you have this mind stimulation, this wonderful REM sleep. You're seeing these vivid imaginations of what AMSOIL and how it can protect your vehicle.
And then you're woken up.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Now your heart's racing, you got sweat on your neck, and you go, God, I need to figure out how to make my car run smoother, get better gas miles, last longer. Well, what do? You call me.
Call Eben.
My cell phone number, 702-472-3614. You can call me anytime. There's never a bad time. Is what you're doing is you're taking that next step to keeping your vehicle exponentially protected.
Yes.
And that's all I care about. And I get these products bought for one reason, and that's results. And we share the results in the channel, all throughout the channel, and right up here in the corner, we're gonna stick a link to the oil change results.
Oh,
oil
yes.
analysis, 26,000 miles on an oil change. We also did an Uber and Lyft car for all the Uber and Lyft drivers. They can check that out. And it really means a lot to help people. We help people save over $2 million
That's awesome.
in engines and transmissions.
That is awesome.
And we're just ticking on down, counting it every day, lowering emissions on vehicles. And now we got Jeff, a part of the channel. And it's like a dream come true. So we're going over these, how they charge. Anything else do you want to add how they charge?
Well, generally you'll find
Mechanic.
that most shops have shop fees.
All right.
And you know, I've had some people rebut the whole concept of shop fee. Here's the thing: it would be impossible.
Yeah, what is a shop fee?
That's a hell of a question, sir. What is a shop fee? Well, there are certain things required for the shop to run that we don't individually charge for.
All right.
I may do a job and use 10 or 15 shop towels, shop rags. That's part of the fee. As opposed for me charging 5 cents per towel that I soil, it's all calculated into a shop fee. Brake clean. I've never charged the customer for a single spray of brake clean. I go through a case a week. So that's a thing. Engine degreasers. There's all sorts of stuff.
So these are items that you go
consumables.
through all the time.
Yeah.
And basically, they're necessities of the job to keep your car clean.
Yeah.
So when you drive away, it doesn't smell like oil or something like that. They're cleaning agents and all these.
Calipers are greased.
Yeah.
I don't charge people for a smear of AMSOIL grease when I'm doing
Yeah.
the brake shoes.
Exactly.
It's just part of the game. So it's calculated into a shop fee. And a shop fee, you can assume, depending on the place, anywhere between 2 to 5% of it's like a 2 to 5% bill. You can think of it as like a mandatory tip. I don't know.
All right.
Everyone, it covers your free refills of rags
But
and
if
brake
it's
clean.
2 to 5%, it's
Uh-huh.
realistic and they're not price gouging.
No.
So they
And a
can
lot of
expect
times-
2 to 5% of what your bill is.
And a lot of times there'll be a cap on that as well. So let's say you're paying a $2,000 bill, generally cap shop fee at like $50.
All
It's
right.
not going to keep jacking up because
Got it.
you hit those bigger numbers. Well, there's no way you use fucking 50 bundles of rags.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to be realistic.
All right. So as long as it's within 2 to 5%, you're not being price gouged.
Yeah.
What else can they be aware of price gouging? How can they get screwed?
So there's several things that you've got to pay attention. They'll slip in large money amounts in places they shouldn't. There's things called disposal fees and hazardous waste fees. In some past, we used to get paid for them to pick up our oil. Our waste oil was worth money. Now I got to pay. Well, paying for to pick up oil falls in the same lines as shop fees.
So they're going to ask how much do you have to pay?
Right. And basically the cost per gallon, last time I had to pay was, I think I paid like $100 and they took 400 and some odd gallons, 450 or something.
So it's not a ton, but you
Not
are
a
paying.
ton. But yeah, I got to pay to get rid of it. And I have no choice. It's got to go. So you'll find a disposal fee and a hazardous waste fee. Please don't let it be over like $3 or $4. A lot of places it is. It's anywhere between $2 to $4.
So that is okay.
That is okay.
They're
It's
not
okay to
price
pay.
gouging.
But if it's like $6, $7, $8, $9, $10, I mean, you're
Now
with
they're
the
getting-
exception of tires. Tires do have a disposal fee as well. So don't be shocked about that. If you go to get a set of tires, they have anywhere between a $3 to $5 disposal
All
fee
right.
per
So
tire.
they want to watch disposal fees that they're not unrealistic.
Right.
So if it's a $50 disposal fee,
What are
there's
they
something
throwing
going
out?
on. There's something going on.
Here's the thing. If you want your parts back from the repair shop, your old part, if it's an alternator, a starter, a battery, something like that, we have cores. Be prepared if the shop says, hey, if you want the part, that's fine. I'll happily show anybody anything. If you want to take it with you, you got to buy the core because I don't want to buy it. I'm going to take the broken part and send it back and not get charged. And cores have a broad range. Cores are anywhere from $5 to $150 for a core.
And that's something that they have sent back. And what do they do with that part?
They remanufacture it. So I'll give you the quick list of things that they remanufactured. Calipers, master cylinders, they remanufacture brake boosters, starters, alternators. I mean, engines. We have a core on an engine. An engine block could have as much as a $2,000 core.
All right. All right. And that's not something that they'll get discounted off their bill, will they?
No, it doesn't get charged to them.
It just doesn't get charged.
Yeah,
All right.
it turns out to be a wash for everybody.
So as far as getting screwed, is there anything else we should get into on that?
You know, be cognizant of what you've done in the past. When you come in and they hit you with some hard sauce, let's say you've gone to an establishment that has a very low price oil change. That's called a loss leader, but I've heard rumors in the past that some of those places don't necessarily do the honest of things. They're getting you in there for a $10 oil change.
All right, so it's too good to be true.
Yeah.
So be aware of things where it's really cheap, and it's just like, why am I bringing my car here?
Yeah.
And what are they going to do to my car to make extra money?
They're going to hold you over a barrel. You know, you're going to be in a spot, and they're going to say, well, if you...
He likes that.
I don't like it holding over a barrel.
No,
He
it's
likes
not
that.
fun.
How about that?
He likes it.
But I actually saw it one time at a brake place. I'll tell you a
Bend
quick
over a
story.
barrel.
Tell him the story.
So
Let me look at the time.
I sent one of my owners before I was an owner. I sent her on a mission to a brake place. It was brake something, and so what they did is they took her brake system apart. Now we went in there. We wanted the $99 brake job. That was it. $99, set of pads, resurface rotors, throw it back together, lifetime warranty. So when they got in there, they completely disassembled her entire braking system. They took the calipers off, they took the rotors off, they took the drums and everything off. And when they were done, they said, oh, well, you need $800 worth of work. And she said, well, I only came in here for $99 brakes. So what they tell her is like, well, if we get this, we can get you out in about an hour and a half if you do all this stuff. And she's like, okay, well, I just want the 99. He's like, well, that's going to take us about 6 hours.
Yes.
So they literally held her vehicle hostage for 6 hours. Now, at the time, I was a little younger, a little bit more hot-headed, and I used to open carry. And you'd be amazed the response people give you when you have a big chunk of 45 caliber iron hanging off your hip. So I told her, I said, Joyce, I'll come up there. I guarantee you, they will put your car back together quick, and I won't have to say anything. I'll walk in there and say, hey, could you put that car back together? And I bet it would happen.
No, that's just...
All right.
But
Now we're going to bring in Rick. Rick Maisel's a big time playboy. Come on in here, Rick. Get in here.
come on.
Move this. I'm
Yes.
going to stand back here.
I'm going to get the water.
Is this live or
This,
No,
no,
we're good.
we're taking
Right.
the recording, sir.
All right. So here we go. We got Rick. Now, Rick, grab a seat. We're going to ask you a couple of questions. Now,
Say
Rick,
that again louder for the camera.
He didn't want to step on his balls.
He didn't want to step on
yes,
his
we'll
balls.
be doing juggling later
Yes.
too. So we're here at the Magic Club, but now Rick has a lot of experience, and we're going to ask him the question: have you ever been screwed over the years with your car? Tell him.
Have I ever been with my car?
Yeah.
In mechanics or something like that?
Yes. Have you ever been screwed over?
Actually, no. Not in like this past 6 months, I was going to say, but no. Well, yeah, for sure.
All right.
So tell us about your running.
Share one of your experiences with everyone, just so they can live through you, and they know
Okay.
not to get that angle.
Okay, well, I don't, I mean, yeah, there's been a couple times I was maybe trying to save some money and found somebody that came up with a pretty good offer, you know, like replace a clutch. They might have actually, you know, replaced my clutch, but it took a couple months.
That's good. So it could take very long.
And they, you know, actually, yeah, they actually got it together. And it didn't work like the first time, but they hung in there.
So if someone's really tight on money, Jeff, what can they do to not have a car that doesn't work? Can they finance with you? Can they do something?
That was actually what I was going to recommend. Every shop now has financing, as far as, or most all of them. They've got Car Care, they've got Synchrony. We have one called West Creek, and mine is a 90 days, same as cash. If you're tight on cash, you're not going to make more money if you don't have your car, right? It's kind of that little that balance.
You need a car to make money to get to work.
Right. And so you apply for the financing, and they finance it. I mean, the approval's in seconds. I get an email as soon as you hit send, and it gets you back on the road. You know, because hey, maybe next week is payday. Maybe payday's 3 days from now, but you got work for the next 3 days. You got to get your stuff back on the road. So you do. You've got options now that you didn't have before. If you have a credit card, put it on a credit card. I mean, whatever you can do to get back on the road, but make sure you're doing it responsibly. And you know what? Do a blind phone call. I tell people if they're dissatisfied, they don't like my price, and I'm okay with that, because you know what? I'm not going to say I'm the lowest price, and that's all right. I'm okay with not being the lowest. But call around. Get 2 other opinions. Just ask them, hey, I got a 2003 Ford Taurus with a 3-liter engine. I need a starter. How much is it going to run me? And decent shops will quote you. And they'll say, well, how do you know it's a starter? Say, look, I'm just trying to get a price on this job. That's it. You just say, hey, give me a price on this job. And that, you'll be able to take 2 or 3 prices, kind of put the average on them and say, okay, this job should take $350 to $450. Would cover this in most shops. There's also a website, and I got a funny thing about it, whatever. There's a website, is how much should my repair cost something.com.
All right.
And I had a lady call me, and she's like, well, I'm looking to get this, I think she wanted like a power steering pump done. So I price it out. I look at the labor, called for whatever, 2 hours. I look at the part. The part was like $200. So I give her the quote. It's like $375, $425, something like this. She's like, well, I went on this website, and it said that job is only $275. I'm like, really? What website is that? Because I don't think that was my website. She's like, well, it's the repair thing, and it says how much you guys should charge for these jobs. And I'm like, Karen, calm down. But I told her, I explained, I said, these people don't set my prices. They take averages. And I don't know where they get the average from. This is Las Vegas. This is what I charge. And then I said, please, feel free to price it out elsewhere. Because I implore you, don't go with the first price you get. I mean, you could, even if you're coming to me, you don't like my price, or you do like my price, make a phone call.
So you do get what you pay for, and you do want to check the reviews on Google and stuff.
Oh, super. Say that one more time.
Check the reviews on Google, right, Jeff?
Yes. I mean, I do that when I go to an ice cream shop.
Now, Rick, in a second, we want to find out what you do, and I want you to tell everyone. Let me just see where we're at on time.
We're here to talk about
Let's
cars.
take a look.
That's good.
Let's take a look.
28:31.
All right, so we got a little bit more time.
All right.
So Jeff, Rick Maisel, that's Rick. Tell everyone where they can find you.
Right here.
Where
Hey,
could
how's it going?
they could find it here?
Right here in
This is
Vegas.
Rick right here.
Right here on your screen.
So Rick,
That's Rick.
So you set all these world records.
Actually,
You've been in the Guinness Book World Records. What the heck do you do?
I like performing around the world. I'm working on some new escapes.
Well,
So
no,
what
no,
do you
like
escape
what?
from?
What are you known for? What is Rick Maisel known around the world in the Guinness Book of World Records for?
Actually, if you just say, "Hey Google, who's that guy that escapes from washing machines?"
No
I
shit.
left my phone over there.
Hey, you can grab it if you want.
Wait,
Do
I
it.
got
Do
a
it.
phone right here.
Do it. Do it. Here we
You
go.
ready?
It'll look like a setup. If I
Okay,
do
no,
it, do
we'll
it.
use mine.
Hey Google, who's that guy that escapes from washing machines?
Who's that guy that escapes from washing machines?
Oh, it's not talking to you.
That's okay.
It's
No,
supposed
no.
to talk to you.
That's okay, because I don't
Show
have
it to
Google.
But it'll talk about.
But it's pulling up YouTube right now.
You got to show it to him.
It's coming.
Show him the screen.
And it says the washing machine man escapes. And at some point it'll show Rick. All right. There it is. That's Rick right there. That's my favorite. His little blue onesie, that is so cute.
Is that it there?
That's it right
it.
there.
Actually,
Yep.
Speedo is one of my sponsors.
Yep.
That's
Did they see
fantastic.
it?
Same suit that
Oh,
was
they-
worn by the Olympic swimmers until they got outlawed because they actually
Too slick.
helped make them swim faster.
Look,
Now,
they
Rick,
all
why they were
wore them.
designed.
Yeah,
Now,
no
Rick,
shit.
this is my favorite thing that I love
Does
to
it
ask
help you
Rick.
escape faster?
Yes.
All right.
This is my favorite thing I like to ask Rick. Rick, how did you train to be able to do the washing machine escape? Please share it.
It's kind of a long story, but
Did
all
it
right,
involve quarters and a speed clean?
there you go.
Yes!
Actually, I went to see an MD before I ever started doing it to overcome the motion sickness.
Wow.
So it was actually prescribed. I went through everything from Dramamine, Bonine, scopolamine.
Wow, there's a lot of means in there.
And do lots of somersaults, and actually the first time I got in the wash machine, it was a wash machine without a door to distributor, and I just stayed in for 1 minute the first time, and then 2 minutes the second time, and then to make sure that I'd never get sick on stage, every time before I get in the wash machine, I need a foot-long chili cheese dog, a order of onion rings, and a chocolate ball.
Wow.
One of my
Solid
favorite
base.
places in Albuquerque. Yeah, and I never got sick once, and then worked up to the point where I could stay in a washer 32 minutes without getting dizzy or
Wow.
sick. And then it's like, okay, well, but my legs started falling asleep from the G-forces.
So I've watched this before. I've actually seen this routine performed in person. I'm not going to call it routine. I've seen this escape in person. How do you breathe, Rick? Because when you come out, your face is covered. I mean, he's in soap and water. You're going to have to watch that video. He's covered soap and water. He comes out. He looks like he just drowned. But he uncuffed himself from how many sets of chains and irons?
Normally 5 pairs of handcuffs and leg irons.
I was gonna say I think I saw more, but yeah, no, you'll never see anything like it. So, how do you breathe? 30-something minutes. How do you pull that shit off?
I've learned not to drown. I might choke a little bit, but
Breathe in between thunks.
there's
So thunk,
thousands.
breathe. Thunk, breathe.
Yeah. So somehow I've learned to breathe underwater in that sucker.
Wow. Well,
But I don't panic. That's actually the key. That's why I don't drown.
So-
I don't panic. It's actually like slow motion while I'm in there. I use self-hypnosis and transcendental meditation.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up.
we're hitting
Oh,
it.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
I'm coming in the
Okay,
middle.
here.
Going in the middle.
On the count of 3.
Ciao.
All right. Cheers to protection, protection, protection. We'll see you back next week, and check out this video right here. We'll see ya.
I've used this stuff. That's